What's up? My name is Websling and I am a Grandmaster 2 Iron Man main, essentially. I play some other characters, but Iron Man has been my main DPS going here alongside Storm. Now, this here is going to be an Iron Man guide to help you all with getting better. Maybe you want to learn more about Iron Man. Maybe you want to just learn about him in general, how to counter him. You'll be able to find all of what you're looking for within this video. While watching, if you enjoy this content, maybe you learned something, make sure to drop a like, comment, or subscribe if you already haven't, as it truly helps the channel out. You guys enjoy, and let's go ahead and get to it. Starting with his primary fire, which is most commonly his left click, unless you have changed it, we have Repulsor Blast. You fire nano pulse cannons forward, pretty self-explanatory, but this left click is pretty solid. At first glance, when you look at it and you're shooting splash damage, you'll think that it doesn't do too much damage because it's only doing a little bit, but the trick to it is you really want to hit them direct. If you can manage to get good at hitting direct Iron Man left clicks, you will become a menace. Hitting them with splash, it is good for if they're really far and you're throwing your direct impact ones and it's not really going to hit them. It's okay in that situation, but for the most part, you are going to want to be trying to hit them with it. Now this ability here, you can hit flyers with it, you can hit people on the ground. It actually does not have any damage fall off either, so no matter where you are able to cast this left click and deal insane amounts of damage here. And once again, that's going to be the Repulsor Blast. The next and most important ability we're going to go over is called the UniBeam. You fire a UniBeam forward. It's pretty straightforward there. You have two fire modes, really three, but every time you play Iron Man, you're going to have two fire modes. Now this ability, UniBeam, it actually has about 3 different forms. You've got this basic beam here. It does pretty solid damage, but nothing that you would want to rely on as like a number one option. However, he also can do like an empowered version where he uses another one of his abilities that we're going to go into next, and it empowers his current abilities, making his laser do an insane amount of damage even without the OP third option. Now we've got Armor Overdrive. With this ability, you can activate Armor Overdrive state, enhancing the damage of your other abilities here. Basically, what this will do here is it's going to empower your left clicks, your lasers, and we're not going to talk about the missiles there. We will, but unfortunately, they're not too good, and they're also not receiving a buff there. But with the lasers, we're perfectly fine here. The empowered state allows you to do devastating damage there to your enemies. You're not really going to want to push too many fights or try to flank backlines without your empowered state, as this is where Iron Man's going to shine the most, even when he has his third option or the team up that he has with Hulk. When paired up with Hulk, Iron Man, not even arguably, he absolutely has the best team up in the game. Strange is also included in that, which is pretty cracked when you consider that Strange is the best tank in the game and Hulk is also really good. But with Iron Man, he gets an empowered left click as well as an empowered laser. Now the empowered left clicks, they're really good, but what I really want to talk about is these empowered lasers. Now I'm just going to let the gameplay footage speak for itself there. I mean, you can see the damage, it's pretty insane. Next, we're going to go over Iron Man's rockets. These abilities, I mean, I don't really use them too much. I'm sure you could maybe find use out of them. I would just rather, in the situations you could use these missiles, I would much rather just use lasers. But with these rockets, you can fly around and you can disperse them kind of like this. You can't use as many as I'm using. I actually have the cooldown turned off. I will turn it off here so you can see the actual cooldown. But you're also able to use the rockets in a different way, Whenever you are standing still low to the ground and maybe you're in a close encounter with maybe a Black Panther, something that likes to flank you and get in your face, you are able to shoot the rockets at the ground and they would do a pretty nice amount of damage. It's just you probably in that same situation could maybe use your laser. I think these rockets should get maybe just a tad bit buffed. Maybe when he's flying, give him the ability to point them in a direction, maybe. That'd be kind of cool. But as of right now, this ability is pretty lackluster. I would steer away from using it unless you're using it in this specific situation here at the ground. Other than that, I would just stick with your other abilities. Next, we're going to talk about Iron Man's ultimate. Now, this ability here, Invincible Pulse Cannon, you fire a devastating pulse cannon in the targeted direction, delivering catastrophic damage there. Now, with this ability, it's really good, but you are very vulnerable. Now, a tip I like to give out is when you cast your ultimate, you actually keep going forward just slightly, not a lot, but just a little bit. So what I like to do is I like to fly into the ult. I don't like to fly and then stop and then ult. I like to fly and mid-fly, like to cast ult, so I get that little bit extra movement there as I'm casting my ult, and it saves me maybe 0.2, 0.3 seconds. Not a lot, but it could be the difference between life and death if you're going against some crazy hit scan. Maybe your Star-Lord is following you around, anything like that. But this ult here, it does do enough damage to one-shot like Mantis, Luna Snow through their ult, and also things like Cloak and Dagger. You can one-shot them straight through it, so you can really use it as a counter ult to them. As they use it as a counter ult to your teammates, you can counter theirs and you can continue your push. Now this ult has no fall off, so you can shoot it from anywhere you want to and do the same amount of damage, but I don't recommend it, as the further you shoot it from, the easier it's going to be to react to walk away from, to get behind a wall, anything like that. So I would stick to being about medium to close range when using your ult, just to ensure that you get at least 1 to 3 kills there. Getting into team fights with Iron Man, it can seem pretty easy, but whenever you're getting focused, it can actually get kind of hard. So when playing Iron Man, you really want to be aware of your surroundings and the cover that's around you, because your positioning is very, very important. When playing, you should be using walls that are close to you and peeking in and out, taking your left clicks, or playing small obstacles for beam. And also, most importantly, when you're in the middle of doing left clicks, beam, or anything like that, you want to make sure if you start taking a lot of damage to fly away. Do not sit there and take the damage, as you're gonna die. If you fly away, you can reposition, get some heals, take a different angle, and it might be a different fight. Since you're a flying character, you really want to utilize the walls next to you as your tank, because most of the time your tank is going to be on the ground frontlining for the rest of your team, so you're not going to have any frontline to tank damage for you. You are the tank, but you have to use the wall to your advantage. That way you can peek in and out, take aggressive fights, passive fights, play them how you want to, make people play at your pace. Now let's talk about another unique aspect of Iron Man's kit: the ability to break buildings. Now everybody can break buildings, some people do it better than others. Iron Man actually does it exceptionally well. I usually see people using their left click to break buildings, when in reality you can actually just use your laser. Your laser is actually super devastating to buildings. You can destroy whole areas like this. You can create little holes to peek through, and it's a lot better than a lot of other characters. And last but not least, we're going to go over Iron Man's skins, his MVP, his emotes as well. We're going to first take a look at Superior Iron Man. It looks like this. It looks pretty smooth, nice and silver. It's straight from the comics, but usually you can see his face. You actually can see his face in the MVP there. And for his other skin, it looks pretty classic, but it's actually from the Avengers movie there lately. You can see the Infinity Stones in his gauntlet. This skin is actually pretty cool, and it also has different sound effects. In-game, Superior Iron Man will look like this. It will keep the same sound effects as base and the same animation effects as well. So it won't be too different, just a different skin MVP that type of thing. Now with his other skin here, the one from the Avengers movie here, it actually has different sound effects. It will have the same looking ability, so they'll look the exact same. However, they do sound slightly different. It's kind of similar to that Spider-Man skin there from the Avengers as well. Now that's going to be all for our Iron Man guide here. If you enjoyed this video, if you've watched all the way through till the end, if you've learned anything, would like to teach me anything, make sure to drop a like, comment, or subscribe there, as it truly helps us out, and I'll make sure to get a reply back to you as well. It's your boy Web Slanger. Thank you for watching my video here. You all have a wonderful day. Peace.